earlier in the year, my wife and I went to Paris, and I was trading when I was over in Paris, and helps pay for that part of the trip.
That's
It,
great. I mean, it
it,
almost makes your trip more enjoyable. You're over there and you're like, hey, this is I'm cash flowing this right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Great.
it's a great feeling. So yeah, two things: take a little profits, have some fun with it, and then keep growing the account.
Excellent, excellent. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence about joining this program?
Well, if they see any of these interviews from the current Market Power group, I got to believe, take it from the current members on what they're saying and their results. Trust the back tested data is real. And ever since we joined Market Power, the program, to your point, hasn't had a losing trade yet. So it works. I mean, the data speaks for itself. And if they're apprehensive, start slow, kind of like what I did, and get
Yeah.
comfortable with it. And you'll quickly get more confidence in the program.
All right. So today we're joined by Kevin Donegan, and he's a member of our Market Power program. And I want to thank you today for sharing your experience, how the course has been going for you and the program, and just really appreciate having you.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. So I always ask people, the first question is, how did you find Option Genius? So a lot of people find it by podcast or other means. So how did you find Option Genius?
It's been a few years now because I joined the training portion of Option Genius a couple years ago. I think it was late 21. So almost 2 years now, I guess. It's a good question how I found Option Genius. I guess I was exploring option trading, on my phone, just searches and Option Genius. And I looked at a few. Option Genius came up and I gravitated towards it. I don't know. I think I was just searching for option learning, training and learning kind of stuff and found it, and it's been good. So I think I found it just by searching.
Discovery.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Research, I guess.
Great. So you've been a part of our original market program. I call you guys kind of like the founding fathers. You went in there and tried everything. And is there anything when you decided to join the program where you like, hey, I want to be a part of this program that stuck out to you?
When you all had that first introductory conference call regarding the program and shared the historical back testing data about what the program was based on,
Mhm.
I mean, that clinched it right there. The historical back tested data of, the premise and the process of the program and how it looked back tested was just, the results are just remarkable.
Excellent. Did you have any personal expectations before you joined the program? As far as like a percentage goal or just to kind of get consistent?
I had been trading options, covered calls, and spreads before a little bit. I dabbled in it. So I guess my initial expectation for the program was to pay back the cost of the program first. That was my first goal. And I did it pretty quickly. And by starting out slow, I started out real slow just to get the feel for the program. And as I traded more and, the indicator came up and I made a trade and won again and won again, my confidence says, yeah, this is real. And then I just started slowly, my trade starts slowly ramped up. And I think I paid for it in, depending on how slow or fast you start, it can be a fast payback if you start with larger trades. But I think I paid mine back in like weeks, like 12 weeks or something,
Wow, that's
roundabout.
great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. It's really important what you just said. A lot of people, you're excited and you can see things working. And a lot of times, the human psychology gets involved and we go too fast, right? So it's really kind of really great that you kind of measured yourself and started slow. So I thought that
Yeah,
was really great.
for sure.
Is there any kind of feature of the program, if you had to identify that you particularly like, or segment of the program?
Mhm.
Is it some people can say, oh, it's adjustment or it's whatever. If there's anything you can pinpoint.
Yep, the two things pop up in my mind. The online forum of the group and the chats and the sharing of information amongst the market power group. I really enjoy that to, get other people's opinion and take on the program and the market and when to trade, not to trade. So I really like that. It's an open forum and it's welcoming and no one's afraid to say anything. So I really like that. And then the second tool I like is the trading log, the market power trading log that you all put together. And it's well organized. And I've been using that to track all my trades.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you hit on a really great point. I mean, we have a group of people, some people are just new to options, and you have some people, I said in another interview, that it's like they take it to quantum physics, so it's like you get all this range of knowledge, and it's it's really kind of, we're all
Yep.
here for the right reasons. So it's really kind of great. It's almost like a family, if you will. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How has the support been? I mean, you kind of mentioned a little bit from OptionGenius, but more like the people around you. I mean, I think you just alluded to that you have a good support system, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Whether it be a group member or yourself or Trish or even Alan,
Mhm.
it's been great. The communication has been prompt and timely and always answered. So there's always someone to answer a question or what have you. So it's been really good.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
We really want people to feel involved and not feel left out. I mean, there's nothing worse than feeling like you're alone.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so that's great.
I don't feel that way at all.
Okay, awesome. Has your trading changed at all since you joined the program? Like as far, I mean, you talked a little about confidence, or some people, a big main reason is confidence, I say. But how is it for you?
So last year before the program, I had some success just doing it myself, but then I got burned and wiped away all my profits. So what I get out of the program is the discipline of the program. And when you have an indicator day, that's the day to trade. No other. So I'm more disciplined since joining the program, and I'm only trading when there's an indicator day, by and large. So the short answer is I've gained a lot of discipline after joining the program.
That's great to hear.
Yeah,
So we're all shooting for that, to be consistent, and there's nothing I think
absolutely.
worse in trading and winning than winning and then giving it all back. I think it's like it's the worst thing that can happen, right?
Anybody that's probably been in options has had that experience one time or another.
Sure. It's
So,
almost required.
boy, it's a tough learning, but that's okay.
All right. So how have your results been so far,
Ah,
specifically for you?
I'm looking at my trading log right now because I figured you'd ask that. And I've kind of added some features to it myself, but if you're interested in those, we can talk about that. But I've made what, about 47 trades,
Mhm.
not counting yesterday. So,
Yeah,
and I work off of two platforms. So I make trades in both.
okay.
One is a smaller account, one's a bigger account. So I may duplicate a given day on two different platforms. But anyway, 47 trades. I think I lost only one, and that was because of me. It wasn't because of the program. And I only lost like 600 bucks. So no big deal. And then I adjusted and made it back. But that was my fault. And I bought too early in the day, basically. And I put notes out there, which is good. My average number of contracts, I would say, is 20. But, I've been up as high as 40 and 10 and 30. Just depends how I'm feeling,
Yeah, yeah.
Like yesterday, I did only 20. I don't know. I don't know why. I just didn't want to do 40. And so long and short, I also back out the cost of trades to get a
Mhm.
net profit, right?
Okay.
So my net profit is 226%.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong with that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, you're trading at a good amount. You kind of just talked to how a little bit made me kind of feel how I trade. There's some days that, you don't, you have like kind of a hunch, you're like, I don't really feel it. It could be personal. It could be like something like, I just don't feel like trading today. And that's perfectly fine. And what I
Yep.
do love, and I think you agree, is that some days you don't have to trade. It's like you don't have to take every signal, right? You can wait and there'll be another one coming down the pike.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And that's where the discipline comes in, because you just got to be patient because a signal will come. And when it comes, that's your time. So, yeah,
Yeah, you kind of take it as a case by case basis. That's great.
for sure.
All right. So, kind of a fun question. So, a lot of people, they have different goals for their profits, and it's nice
Mhm.
to, good problem to have. You're in your profit and you're making money. Some people do fun things like take vacations, and some people just roll it into their account. So, what are your plans?
So I have, I guess, unarticulated or unstated two goals for the program and the profits that I earn from market power. First is to build up my account so I can grow the dollars in my account for doing this so that I could keep slowly ramping up as I get more and more comfortable. The second one is take some of the profits and have some fun. And like you alluded to, I think maybe before we started the call, but I went fishing in Colorado and virtually almost paid for the whole trip in a day,
Yeah.
at least a good portion of the VRBO expense. And then earlier in the year, my wife and I went to Paris, and I was trading when I was over in Paris and helps pay for that part of the trip. So, it's
That's
it,
great. I mean, it
it
almost makes your trip more enjoyable. You're over there and you're like, hey, this is I'm cash flowing this right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Great.
it's a great feeling. So yeah, two things: take a little profits, have some fun with it, and then keep growing the account.
Excellent, excellent. So, what would you say to someone? And you were there in the original group, and a lot of people have apprehensions about joining programs. Whether it's true. We're kind of at a point now where we've had many, many winners, and if not any losers on the track record. Actually, no losses on the track record. So it's almost too good to be true. So people are naturally skeptical. What would you say to someone that there's going to be a next group and a group after that, and people joining this program? So,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence about joining this program?
Well, if they see any of these interviews from the current Market Power group, I got to believe take it from the current members on what they're saying and their results. Trust the back tested data is real. And ever since we joined Market Power, the program, to your point, hasn't had a losing trade yet. So it works. I mean, the data speaks for itself. And if they're apprehensive, start slow, kind of like what I did, and get comfortable with it. And you'll quickly get more confidence in the program.
Excellent. Well, wise words. I mean, it's really important. You hit on some really important points that, patience, taking your time,
Hmm.
and really kind of just trusting yourself. I mean, giving something a try, and, what's the
Yep.
worst possible thing that can happen? So that's
Yep.
great. Excellent.
Exactly.
So I really want to thank you for taking the time today. Really appreciate it and, sharing your experience. So really, it was great having you on.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, Matthew.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.